You've heard the term praise in public and criticize in private. And I would agree with that most of the time, unless, let's talk about it. Now, when would you ever want to criticize someone in public? When is it just okay to do something like that? I would say, as a leader, you guys, we need to ask for criticism from our team. We need to admit when we've done something incorrectly to the team and ask for criticism from them. Now, make sure you are healed enough and your shoulders are wide enough to take on the criticism without taking it personally, because there is something going on that they need to tell you and they want to tell you. And if you get in a team meeting and you ask them for criticism or feedback or something to help you, and they're willing to give it to you, make sure you are willing and ready to receive it. Okay. So asking for criticism openly or admitting, hey, I need your help with this. This is what I know how to do. This is what I don't know how to do. Or let's come together. I'll give you a story for just for an example. We were having team lunches, right? And so everybody would bring something and it would be placed out in the team. The team would sit in one area and then I would have my office in a different area or just right there in back of the team. So I would go out, I'd bring something, I'd do all my participation, I'd bring something to the spread, and we'd go out and we'd all get our plates full of food. And then they would sit around in the team and I would go back into my office and eat. And I thought that, we were having lunch together until someone approached me and said, and it was just a simple thing. They said that we would like for you to sit out here with us. We don't feel like we're having a team lunch if you come out here and get your lunch and then go back into your office. And I'm thinking, I could get some work done. They probably don't want me around. They probably want to talk amongst themselves. Let them have their space. Let me have my space and just do it like that. I had no idea that they wanted me to be out there with them, eating lunch with them. This was one simple thing that changed everything. We became a much closer team. The camaraderie was there and everything. And so it's just simple little things like that. It doesn't have to be something massive or something, really, really bad. It could be something simple, and just accepting it in the way that they presented it to me and changing one little thing just made a whole world of difference in me connecting with the team. So when we ask for open criticism within our team meetings, even if we ask for individual criticism from our folks on the team, whether we call it feedback is could be generalized, but if there's something that's kind of stuck in their craw that they want to tell you about, let's make sure we're open and ready to receive that criticism. And it can be in a team meeting, it can be public if it's coming toward you. All right. And like I said, make sure you are healed enough to receive the criticism. Make sure you're ready and to receive it in a way that will be helpful to you, and don't take it personally. Now, when it comes to your team, you should absolutely give constructive criticism in private. What we want to understand is that your words have incredible power, and people will actually, it will make a lasting impression on people. So be careful what you say. What we're going to discuss a little more is the atmosphere and how you should handle the constructive criticism conversations. No matter how frustrated you are as a leader, customize your words to the person that you're talking to at the right time. We know the team, there's individuals, and individuals are different, and people accept things differently. And once you get to know your team, you'll know how to talk to them to get the response that you need to get from them. And so make sure you customize your words. If you told them something 2 times or 3 times and they're still not doing it, no matter how frustrating it is to you, make sure you're saying it in the right manner at the right time to the right person. Another thing that you want to do is to be sensitive to your setting. If that person is having a bad day and it just happens to be on your one-on-one conversation day, you want to be sensitive to the setting that you're in, what they're going through. It doesn't mean that you don't deliver the message that you need to deliver to them, but just kind of understand what kind of day they're having And if you would normally talk to them in one particular way because you know them, but if they're having a rough day, you may want to change it up a little bit, and just be sensitive to the setting that you're in with that person on the day that you're having that conversation, that critical conversation with them. One thing that I cannot emphasize more is make sure you focus on what they need to hear more than what you want to say. As leaders, sometimes we want to say things in a different way, but if we focus more on what this person really needs to hear and try to get that over to them, that message over to them, what they really need to hear rather than what I'd like to tell them, because we all know that we have things running through our minds that we would really like to say, but we need to calm down a little because we're there to help that person. You know, it should be given in a caring format where you're telling them this to help their performance, to help them in general. And so you need to be focused on what that person really needs to hear rather than what it is that you want to say. What you want to do is keep the language positive. There is a difference in saying that I'd love for you to speak up more in meetings rather than you don't speak up enough in meetings. So there is we said the same thing, but one was a positive way and one was a negative way. And people respond to the positive way much better as something coming across as you're trying to help them instead of something coming across as that you're trying to put them down. So make sure we're keeping the language as positive as possible in those meetings with our employees. For you guys, you can criticize me in private or you can criticize me in public. But what I would like for you to do is go ahead and hit the like button and the subscribe button so that this information can get out to more leaders and I can share with them also. And lastly, before I leave any meeting with an employee that I'm giving feedback to or constructive criticism, I want to make sure I give them a reputation to uphold. I want them to know that I believe in them and there are certain things that I'm expecting of them. And so I want them to know before we leave in a positive way, this is the way that we're moving now, and this is what I expect of you, and it's greater than what we've been getting in the past. John Maxwell says people will go further than they thought they could when someone they respect tells them that they can. And let's all keep that in mind. You will have to gain the respect of your employees before they think that they can go further. But once you gain that respect, they will go very, very far if you believe in them and tell them and just give them a reputation that they can uphold. Well, that's it, you guys. When it comes to you, make sure that you can be criticized in public only for you. But when it comes to your folks, it's something that needs to be done in private, whether it's feedback, whether it's crucial conversations. Make sure the atmosphere is set in a positive, caring way so that they'll understand that you're only trying to help them. Give them something a reputation to live up to hang on to, and expect better from them in the future.